Hare Krishna, beloved devotees, it gives me immense pleasure to start this auspicious event of Gyan Cakshu Season 2 by heartily welcoming everyone. A very warm welcome to our beloved Gurudev. Now we would be addressing your question as Gurudev would be enlightening us. So now we would seek for the blessing of Srila Gurudev to start the session. May we start, Gurudev?
Right. Go ahead.
So, the very first question for today's session goes: if one surrendered, how to know that Krishna has accepted us?
Mamagnanatimirandasya Gyananjanasilakaya Chakshulaminatambya Tashmai Siddhiguravi Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhisam Saritanjana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namam Vishnu Pariya Krishna Prisaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tiname Navise Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nere Visesa Sanyavadi Pastata Desatarani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Siva Sati Gaura Bhakti. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We offer our respectful obeisances to everyone, and we thank you for being with us today and forever. So we have this beautiful question before us. What is the sign that we have been accepted by Krishna if we have surrendered ourselves to Krishna? As Lord Krishna requested in Bhagavad Gita, we should surrender to Him and we should not be afraid. So how do we know that I'm accepted by Krishna? Well, Krishna is a person, is not void. Is a person, not just a person, the supreme conscious person, and the supreme all-knowing personality of Godhead knows everything. So we surrender to Him because He's a person, and He also has His representatives who are monitoring everything. He is a super soul in everyone's heart. So Krishna knows if we have surrendered to Him by the fact that Krishna will be responding to our surrender. If you have surrendered to Him, Krishna knows that yes, this person has given his or her life to me. So He will be personally taking care of us. We know that we are not surrendering in the air. We are surrendering to like a movement organization that has many people. We are chanting Krishna's names, He knows. We are praying to Lord Krishna, He knows. We are doing services to Krishna, He knows. We are associating with His devotees, Krishna knows everything. So He will respond. Even if we are inside the water, Krishna knows, because He's everywhere. Or in the jungle, in the forest. Krishna is there everywhere. So He knows that such and such person has surrendered to Him. So He will respond. If we have eaten something, we know we have eaten something because our belly will be filled. How can feel that? Similarly, if you are surrendered to Krishna, He will respond to our surrender through the services which we render, through the japa which we do, through the association which we have, through the hearing about Him. Krishna knows, and He will respond. We will also know that we have been accepted by Krishna. We belong to an organization, so Krishna knows that this sincere person is here. She physically has representatives, who knows? We have so many devotees. So Krishna knows this person is in this movement and they're doing such and such services. We'll be making an announcement. Yes. So it is not it is not something speculative. No, it is real. So Krishna knows that we are here. All right.
Yes, Durga, thank you so much. So our next question is, how close does one should get to the spiritual master? How close one must be to understand the master?
How close should one be to the spiritual master? Very, very close, very intimate. How close is the soul, the super soul? Huh? How close? We are extremely close, very, very close. A closeness is not just external. The closeness is internal. That you are thinking of the services the spiritual master has given. We are planning the services. We are executing the services. So how close such a devotee will be? Very, very close, because as you're thinking, the spiritual master will feel it, he will know it. It goes to him. It goes to him. So we should be very close, very, very close. Very close, so much so close that whatever it is, the experience of the spiritual master should also become our experience, because that's the importance of association. If we associate with a pure devotee, whatever is happening there to come. Just like if you are connected with an important person, you are connected with a prime minister. Whatever is experience will become your experience. So we should be very close, not just externally, but spiritually. That is a closeness. So close that we are very connected spiritually, that we can communicate very easily with each other. I have told devotees what the devotee was saying, or generally devotees said, "Oh, my spiritual master is far." I said, "How far is your spiritual master? How far?" The spiritual master is in far distant place country. That means that you don't have a spiritual master. A spiritual master must be very, very close to, must be very, very close. So Prabhupada said, you are chanting Hare Krishna in America, I'm chanting Hare Krishna in India. What is the distance between us? We are chanting there, I'm chanting here. We are very close, we are connected. There's no question of separation. We are eternally together, very, very intimately related. That is how close we are, and that is how close we should be. Yes. If you make ourselves distant from the spiritual master, that is our problem. Just like we are making ourselves very distant from the super soul, even though super soul is the most closest person to us, but because of our narrative, because of our complacency, we are creating distance. There shouldn't be any distance between us. It shouldn't be. We should be very, very close. That whatever you think, whatever you feel, it is connected. You can experience it because that is already there. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much for answering this question. Our next question is, if Maya takes a hold on us, what is the quickest way to go back to Krishna?
Maya is always helping us. Maya is always helping us, holding us. We we are always with Maya, because that is what is happening. Either we are with Krishna or we are with Maya. So if we are not with Krishna, we are not with Maya. Not that Maya is coming from somewhere to come and get us. We are already there. So how do we get out of that? By connecting ourselves with Krishna. By connecting ourselves with Krishna. How do we do that? It's very simple. By chanting Hare Krishna, we are connected with Krishna. By keeping ourselves away from Maya in terms of following the regulative principles, chanting minimum every day, hearing about Krishna, doing service for Krishna, associating with devotees, we are out of Maya zone. Yeah. So what is the quickest way? The quickest way to shout, "Hey Krishna." That's the quickest way. We have heard how the Kauravas wanted to disgrace Draupadi because they wanted her and they couldn't get her. So they plotted against her. And in the public, they wanted to disgrace her. Since they didn't get her as their wife, they would disgrace her. So she cried to the husbands who were there. But because the husbands were really gambled, they couldn't do anything, even though they are able to close down the whole universe. So following the arrangement of providence, they couldn't do anything. But as soon as he said, "Hey Govinda," it didn't take. How long does that take? Instantly. Instantly. Lord Krishna responded. Instantly. So the quickest way is what? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The quickest way. The moment we vibrate Lord Krishna's holy name, which is not different from Krishna, immediately Maya disappear. What is Maya? Absence of Krishna. That's absence of Krishna. Maya. What is Krishna? Absence of Maya. That's all. So we are thinking of Krishna. We are calling Krishna. So Krishna is there. Immediately, Krishna will respond to save us from clutches of Maya. It doesn't take time. And so the quickest way is to take shelter of Krishna's holy name. We take shelter of Lord Krishna's holy name, everything becomes immediately rectified. Immediately. So Bhagavad used the word Sipram. Sipram means now, immediately. To do that, call the name of Krishna, and she shall be saved. That is there in the Lord Gita. Instantly, Krishna will be. So the fastest, the quickest way is to call the name of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Immediately, Krishna will appear. And everything we made clear. That's the quickest way. All right?
Yes, Gurudev, thank you so much for answering this question. Our next question is, how can we come out of duality and be genuine in our dealing and eventually purify ourselves from all the anarthas?
To come out of dualities. Yeah, Krishna Krishna told us that in Bhagavad Gita, we should transcend all dualities. How to do that? By surrendering to Him. By surrendering to Lord Krishna. That's how we get out of dualities. We hear about Krishna regularly. We practice serving Krishna regularly. We associate with devotees who are more advanced than us, who are very fixed and steady in their Christian consciousness, who have accepted in completeness, who are fully convinced that Krishna is the supreme person of Godhead. In truth, in reality, associating with those devotees will transcend dualities. And in Bhagavad Gita 14:26, Lord Krishna mentioned, Mam Chayo Avyavicarina Bhakti Yogana Sevate Sagunan Samaitaitan Brahma Puya Kalpate. Being fixed in Krishna consciousness without a fall down, one would transcend the mood of nature and become promoted to the stage of Brahma. So if you want to transcend dualities, should be fixed in practicing Krishna consciousness. It should be fixed without a break or fall down. Steady practice. Krishna recommends to be the means of steady practice of our devotional discipline. We know the best is still chanting Hare Krishna mantra. If we continue to chant, we can say, well, what about the fact that I'm still sleeping on japa? I still sleep in the class. I still feel the mode of ignorance. How am I sure that I'm transcending? Yeah, I still feel happiness. I still feel distress sometimes. Yes, I still feel cold. I still feel heat. When there is summer, I use air condition. I use a fan. When there is winter, I use a heater, warm water for bathing. So I have not seen anything that make me feel that I'm transcending duality. Yeah, I still get angry when somebody do something wrong. I feel disturbed. Yes, the fact that we are stuck in the process without a fall down, without a break, that is the proof that there is advancement. Because if there is no advancement, we cannot continue for long. Just like if we are eating and the food is not good, we will not continue to eat. We'll stop it. Look for something else. So that we are still fixed. We're still fixed in our practice. It means that we are making some advancement. That is how we are still practicing. So we should continue. Even if you feel that you're not seeing any progress, you continue. Why should you continue? Because Krishna promises that by following this process without the fall down, we will transcend. We should have faith in Krishna's word. We should believe that Krishna cannot tell us something wrong. Whatever he recommends, it is perfect and complete. We don't see what he sees, we don't know what he knows, but if we follow what he tells us to do, it will become our success. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Krishna, for answering this question. Our next question is, Is it normal or okay for a devotee to feel discouraged or low sometimes?
Feeling discouraged. Okay, let me put it this way. Srila Prabhupada sent a message to one of his disciples and was telling him, my god brothers, quote this Prabhupada, my god brothers, they compressed me, they suppressed me, they depressed me, but I never get discouraged. I never got depressed. I never get um, frustrated. I continued. Therefore, in the same way, you should continue to push on, to move on. Because what is so-called? What is that? So-called discourage. Discourage of what? Nobody can discourage us. Nobody can discourage us. We get discouraged because we are not ourselves serious. That is the only reason why one will say I get discouraged. Not that somebody discouraging us. It is we who are not serious ourselves. I give an example. If you light fire and put inside the water, it will not light. The light will go off. Why is that? Because there's no fire element in the water. If you light it and put in the wood, it will flame. Why? Because there is fire element in the wood. So we say firewood. Similarly, if we are serious ourselves, we are not doing something wrong, we are trying our best to follow sincerely, we will not be discouraged. Nothing will discourage us because Krishna will be responding. The other question was, how do we know Krishna have accepted us? The sign that Krishna have accepted, will not be depressed, will not be discouraged, will not be distracted. Even if there are so many situations of discouragement, we will never be discouraged. Why? Because Krishna is supporting us and we're making advancement. So what we consider the discouragement will become a source of inspiration for us to move on. So it is due to our own seriousness or not seriousness that we react in what is considered discouragement. Hmm? Why Prabhupada says he's not discouraged and we are discouraged? Because he is very serious, he knows the goal, he knows what he's doing, he knows everything, so he's not discouraged. We're not discouraged from eating. Nobody feels that yeah, we discourage me from eating, not eating. We feel discouraged only one way in the Christian consciousness. Yeah, I'm not encouraged to continue. It is our mistake, it's our fault. That is our fault. For advancing devotee, there's nothing like discouragement. Whatever happens will become a stepping stones. So there's no discouragement for a serious devotee. A devotee who is sincerely following the process will never get discouraged. Whatever the situations may be, whatever situation may be. Yes, it is true that there were so many things to get anyone discouraged. But an advancing devotee or a sincere devotee who is practicing nicely will never be discouraged. Even though there are so many things to make that happen. Instead, the person, all those discouraging situations will become a source of inspiration for the devotee to carry on, to move on, because the person is supporting us. The pure devotees of Krishna are supporting us. They are always cheering us up. Come on, let's go. Come on, move forward. Move on, move on. That is the way it has to be. And we have to move on because that is also the way for those who are fortunate to move on. despite the situation. We should move on. Because despite the situation, we're eating, we're sleeping. Hmm? So let us move on, understanding the goal and also understanding what are the necessary things we have to pass through to become purified to get to where we want to go. This should be understood. And that is the importance of good association. Hmm? In good association, we have the strength, we have the support, hmm? we have the facilitation to move on, to always know what is right, to always do what is right. Even if there are mistakes, those mistakes also are very necessary for us because we will learn from it and grow. All right.
Thank you so much for answering this question beautifully. Our next question is, does the soul suffer with the mind or he is always enjoying?
The nature of the spirit soul is that is always joyful, is always blissful, is knowledgeable and eternal, eternal, eternally the same. That is the nature of the soul. But because we have become conditioned due to bad association, we're having bad association with material energy. So sometimes, because of our conditioning, we'll experience that what we say duality. We'll experience that is a um, uh, what is it? We feel discouraged, feel uh, low and feel high. Low and high has nothing to do with the soul. It's not the soul. It is the dualities which is pertaining to the material body. But because we have unnecessarily identified ourselves with the body, if whatever happens with the body, we will feel it. We will feel it. For those who have transcended the body, whatever happened to the body do not affect them. They will remain on a spiritual platform, hmm, always happy and joyful. So we see pure devotees are like that. Everything that happens never make them sad, never give them a chance to think otherwise. They are always satisfied, always happy, because that's the nature of the soul. So we see the difference between an advanced soul and a conditioned soul. Hmm. They are always joyful, eternally joyful, happy in all situations. Why would Prahlad Maharaj feel very happy, feel satisfied, fearless? Why? What would make him to feel like that? Because he is not on the bodily platform, he's on the spiritual platform. Therefore, all the torture, the mistreatment, the problem that his father gave to him, Allah remained the same, peaceful, no anxiety, no depression, there's no uh, feelings of suppression. It was completely free. Why? Because it's yourself. So there is nothing like today I'm sad, tomorrow I'm happy. No, that is duality. So they have transcended duality because that's the nature of the soul. So they don't feel otherwise, but always joyful. So the happiness and distress we feel here, or feeling high sometimes, feeling low sometimes, these are not part of the soul. They are not part of the soul. They are the function of the material body. Nothing to do with the soul. The soul is Naditwat, Nirgunatwat. That is the soul. Hmm? So duality, we are referring to the body, not the spirit soul. So the soul is always joyful, always situated in transcendence. That's the meaning, transcendence. And the soul is situated in permanent happiness. Uh, doesn't experience duality. So if the spirit does not experience, if the soul does not experience duality, there's no question of high and low. It's finished for those who have attained to that professional stage of life. All right, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Gurudev. So, last question for today's session goes: how do we maintain a proper balance between working as an individual in the association of non devotees and protecting our consciousness?
Before we go to our work, we should chant our 16 rounds. To wake up in the morning, chant our 16 rounds. Do our arti. Should do our arti. Do our deity service worship. Have our program. This is our vaccination. Take Krishna Prasadam and hear the message of Bhagavatam from the Bhagavat. By this, we have vaccinated ourselves. So that will carry us for the whole day. There is no question of high and low. We will always remain fresh and are ready to face Maya squarely without being disturbed. So in this way, there's no question of difficulty. We can associate with Maya and not be affected. In the second canto of Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma testified to that. Telling Ramoni, my dear boy, do you know why I can associate with Maya and still never get disturbed, never get affected? I'm associating that thing with Maya. But do you know my secret that I'm not disturbed? Why I'm not disturbed? And I'm going to say, Father, please tell me the secret. But Brahma said, I'm holding to the lotus feet of Krishna with great zeal. I'm holding with great zeal. Therefore, where is Maya? Meaning that holding on to Krishna's lotus feet with great zeal means that we are doing our sadhana very nicely. Our sadhana is nice, chanting nicely, hearing nicely, serving very nicely, associating nicely, hearing lectures attentively. We pray to Lord Krishna and we are consciously entering the battlefield because we know that we are fully armed. So we are going to go there. We will associate with the people who are not interested in Christian consciousness. Even if they don't talk with us, the association alone is a heavy contamination. They breathe, they are taught everything is contaminated. The environment is all contaminated. Although that is there, we will enter there as one who has been vaccinated. We are covered. Insurance has covered us. I will not be affected. We will remain Christian conscious always. And as soon as we finish with them at the working place, we live there exactly as one will leave the toilet after passing the stool. Leave them and run back to the association activities to continue to hear about Krishna and Kirtan. Glory to technology, we We have Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, all our scriptures, lectures and Twitter in our cell phone. Immediately plug it in. You tune to the spiritual channel of Krishna consciousness. That is where we are. And we are saved at all the time. This science should be fully applied. And if this is done, we will do our material duties and as well be fixed in our spiritual duties without a compromise. And that is what is recommended by Srila Bhakti Dhira. That while we are doing all that we have to do to keep our body, our social needs, at the same time, we should bring in a spiritual need, a spiritual so that both of them goes on nicely. In this way, we are balanced and not influenced by the nonsense, but we can influence the nonsense by the potency of Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru. Thank you so much. So we have reached to the end of today's session. It's been a pleasure being with you, all of you today. Thank you so much for your patience. Our deepest gratitude to all who have attended today's session. We will soon return with another question answer session. Please do send us your question either in Facebook or YouTube channel. You can also email your question on the ID mentioned in the description. If by any chance your question is unheard, we make sure that your question is answered in the next session. Thank you for all being with us once again. Thank you, Gurudev, and thank you all the assembled devotees. Have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yes, I want to thank all the devotees who have been here. They are sending me greetings. Suresh Kotak, Somya Lalitan, Tirumala Govinda Prabhu, Gilbert Kwesi, and Tim, Sudha Mishra, Krishnadas, Nalini Ramjus, and all other devotees who were sending greetings while we were speaking. I couldn't respond to you individually because I was speaking. But thank you. We appreciate your greetings and your being with us. And all the devotees who have put on their questions. And there's Govinda Go. And all of you who are there, I'm seeing on the screen, and those I couldn't see on the screen here, should know that we appreciate you, we recognize you, and we are with you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.